anyone that's dealt with the Middle East for spent 5 minutes online, even less, as obviously the two of you have, that we're also dealing in not just the physical warfare, but information warfare campaign as well. It is a shock, however, when it's you at the center of these images. But I think it's easy to just dismiss them. But on the other hand, we have seen, including here today, including now, what happens when these kinds of deepfake AI campaigns and fake news stories are permitted to proliferate unchecked, because there are too many gullible people out there who will take this at absolute face value. And we've seen what happens when these kinds of campaigns are left unchecked. Words can and do lead to violence, to action, to incitement, to the kind of events that we saw in December 14. And this does, I think, raise what is the role of social media companies as well. These images, with respect to me, they flooded Twitter, Reddit, and other social media platforms, Instagram as well. And now social media companies, they know very well how to deal with fake news. They know very well how to deal with algorithms to ensure that not only this kind of material does not or is not allowed to receive the space on my platforms, but then when it does, if it does get through the cracks, to ensure that it does not mushroom to something bigger, to somehow minimize it or to flag it or to even remove it or take it off. Certainly in the cases where there is legitimate security concerns, I think, as there is here. So you have the role of social media companies. Now, the reality is social media companies are not ones themselves self-regulate. So you have the question, okay, what is the role of governments perhaps in this as well? Now, Australia is very different to America. In America, you have first speech considerations under the Constitution. Australia and in many parts of the Western world are different. So it does offer perhaps a little bit more leeway for social media companies to take action. But one thing is certain is that whether it's the extremism that we've seen across the world, including ISIS, which these two terrorists were inspired by, or whether it's actions that we see online, including through these deepfake campaigns, through AI, through fake news stories like this, they wield enormous power to radicalize people, to incite violence. And I think that's something that needs to be very much looked at, not just by the social media platforms, but perhaps by the regulators and the governments as well.